So here's the new fishing rig. I'm pretty excited about this. I wanted to put a camper shell on it. And I looked at ordering some camper shells. The guys around here, the hard tops were 16 to 18 weeks back ordered. So I looked around as well on like Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist, all that good stuff, and I just couldn't find anyone that fit this model and size that I wanted within 500-mile drive. So what I thought is, I've got a lot of tournaments coming up here soon, and I need to get something going pretty sooner than later kind of thing. So I've purchased a soft top cover, and seeing as how we're leaving tonight, well, I'm leaving tonight to head to Toledo Bend for a tournament on Saturday. I'm gonna go ahead and try to get this thing on. It's not the kind of weather that I was looking forward to, getting out here and doing this thing properly, but I need this top on because I'm gonna be going through some rain tonight and tomorrow, and my gear in the back. The thing with this is and unlike my car, is everything's inside my car. The gear's protected, and out back here in the back, my gear's unprotected from the weather. As you can see, snow and ice and all this stuff this time of year, as well as if I stop for gas, I go in for dinner, I do anything at a truck stop type of thing, all my rods and my gear and everything is just sitting in the back. Now I could put my fishing gear up in the front and stuff, but my rods and stuff are still gonna be just sitting in the back of the truck, and anybody can walk by and take off with. And my luck being the way it is, I'm sure that it would be, 6 hours before the tournament, the night before, and then somebody janks all my rods. So without further ado, I'm gonna get you guys around here, and I'm gonna get started. Yeah, I guess that little handle's not overly robust. So this is the Outlander. It's the Outlander Soft Topper. I think it was right around $1,000, maybe 900 something. I'll put the price in the comments below and a link to it. But I did order the recycled bed liner as well. It's like a bed mat. And I want to say I ordered something else too, but I can't remember now. But so this is the Outlander Soft Topper. It's black. I just gave the size of my truck. The order was really easy, and I think it would have been here within less than a week, but the weather came in and delayed shipments and stuff. So I'm gonna open it up and see if I can find some instructions. Not a whole lot of hardware. And looks like installation instructions with 2 alcohol pads. There we go. Okay. Thanks for your purchase of the soft truck topper. This is what I think it's supposed to look like, finished product. We'll see. And if it doesn't look like that, it's probably a large section of that has to do with operator error. Alright, so we have preparation and assembling the bows first. Put the bows out. So the straps are flat. So it says place on a flat surface. So take this saran wrap off. Wherever it begins. I love saran wrap. I've been, believe it or not, first time I saw it I thought it was cool or crazy weird, but I've been to some other parts of the world where in the terminal, before you get on board, after you've checked your luggage through security, you can actually have saran wrap stations, and some cats in the airport will saran wrap your baggage. It's kind of crazy. Obviously for probably places that are a little bit more dusty, Now, absolutely none of the saran wrap is gone where I've thrown it, so it looks like I'm going to be picking up a lot of saran wrap when I'm done. Okay. There we go. Da, 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 da. Okay, it says place bows on a flat surface, spread bows out so straps are flat. Well, that doesn't look like it looked like. So it says spread bows out so the straps are flat. That's not working. That doesn't look anything like what the thingamajig says. Alright. That dude is flat. That dude is flat. That dude is flat. Maybe I should read forward to see what they're looking like. Starting at one end, connect bows until button pins engage. So it looks like you're just going to spread this sucker out till all the flaps are straight, not twisted around each other, and then you're just going to click them together. Which is weird. I guess that's what we're going to do. I don't know if you can see this over here. You know what? I'm going to turn you around so you guys can enjoy this. Alright, it says spread the straps out to the, I think they're looking like these straps. Make sure they're not twisted around. They just got to be flat all the way through. Once they're flat all the way through, then there's a male and a female end here, female end, male end, and then you just click them in until the buttons are tight. So if I can figure out, get this the same. Well, this is a. Oh. Okay. So let's go. This is a long end, going to the long end. See if I can keep this dude out of the snow. Next one goes to the next one. It's flat, and it's flat. All right, here we go. Snap one. Snap two. I think this one goes to this one. And this one goes to this one. I may have to last one's pretty tight. Alright, all snapped. Everything's still in line. Alright, so it is now. So everything's in line. Now step two is going to be instructions here. We've got the bows all lined up. Pins are in. Straps are flat. So now we've got to put the bottom frame on. Click the bows onto the frame. So it says step two, assembling the frame. With bows on flat surface, place driver side rail next to driver side bows. And passenger side rail next to passenger side bows. So it looks like the cross member. Hey, I think we accidentally may have gotten that right from the get-go. With the link, yeah. Alright, so now we're going to unwrap, do some more saran wrap removal. So this does not say driver side or non-driver side. One side comes back straight, and then one side is curved on the other end. I'm thinking probably this curved end is going to go up to the cab because it's going to carry around. But I shall refer to the instructions. And I'm absolutely wrong, it would appear. The curved goes over the tailgate, so this would be the passenger side. Passenger side rail here. And more ceramic. Life's an adventure, huh? Alright, driver's side. Here. Now it looks like with bows on flat surface, place driver's side rails next to driver's side bows and passenger side bows next to passenger side bows. Step number 2, assembling the frame continued. Boom. Remove bolt from end of front bow and secure onto the front bracket or front brace bracket of side rail with bolt and nuts using 5mm Allen wrench. Repeat with front bow on opposite side. Okay. So there's no hardware in here, so I'm assuming it's already on here. And that would be correct. Looks like I'm going to get a 5mm Allen wrench. Alright. Actually, no, that's not it. Playing with danger today because if we drop something in this ice and snow, we may not find it back. Front bow, which is this one. Okay. Get that out of the snow over there as well. And let's just push this together. Now we're not going to possibly run something off in the snow. I really hope this thing seals up good. I mean, I don't expect it to be the same as a fiberglass camper shell, but I hope it's good enough to get me through the next few months until I go back to work full time. So on the other side. That was step number 2B, I guess, if you can. Repeat on opposite side, we already did that. Repeat steps 2 and B and C. Second bow angles out from the front window. Rear support brace attaches after soft top is installed. So from here, it looks like we're just gonna repeat this process all the way back. And then there on this back one, there's like a lockdown brace that comes undone and locks in down here. So we're gonna leave that one alone. What we're gonna do now is just work our way back. That is step 2 BC, whatever, installing the frame. All right, so this rear support, so there's this support, this Velcro right here comes down, I think goes and it runs to here. But it says this one is, put this one on after you actually get the cover on. Okay, so installing the frame is the next thing. Position assembled frame on the box. I guess the box they're talking about the truck. Install first clamp as close to the front of the box as possible. Turn bolt finger tight. Make sure we read ahead here so we get an idea what's going on. Installing the frame continued. Install second clamp as close to tailgate as possible. So we got 2 clamps per side. One and one. So one thing I'm not sure is I've got these edges on the truck here that are these hard plastic tops, which it drops down a little bit on the actual front of the bed, which doesn't have it. So maybe that's what that foam is, to kind of cover that and seal that gap there. Let's see, okay. Provided, install third clamp at midway point. If you have a third one, you can put it on the midways. Ensure all clamp teeth engage side rail grooves. Okay. Note for vehicles with utility rack, with utility track, remove lower half of standard clamp, blah, 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 and put it into the track. Okay, got it. Installing the soft top. So looks like we're gonna get this dude up there, get the clamps, clamp it down, and then get ready to put the soft top on. It's exciting. So let's see if I can just get underneath here and walk this dude up. Let's do it the other way. Maybe get somewhere right in here. Okay. Maybe one more back. Okay, maybe not. We'll just... I can already see what's going to happen here. I'm going to slide this dude over the edge and scratch the truck all the way down the side. A little bit nerve-wracking, but not crazy. Okay. Now, what did those instructions say? I'm not exactly sure where to... I guess this thing just goes to the corner of the thing. So it looked like... So they're not super clear. Here's the clamp. And it looks like this goes over the top, reaches over to the actual rail itself on the soft top. And then this is the lip. This goes underneath the bed rail, and that metal flange can sit down there, and this will tighten against the top. So we'll see if it's gonna work like that. That's what it looks to be, but we shall see. Yeah. It's not as hard as it seems. Guess since we're off the ground, I can get this back over here. I'm just gonna loosen this all the way down, slide it underneath the lip, and then up over onto it, and make sure these teeth engage the flat portion of the bed frame. And I'd prefer this, or the flat portion of the slide at the top. I'd prefer this not to come flying off the road tonight. And I guess that'll also give you an idea of in and out, because there's not a lot of playroom there. So tight here and tight over there is going to give you the width of where you're supposed to be. Slide this one on as far back as it'll go. back as it'll go. Same thing on this side. Gonna be running into some problems here in a minute. Things don't just go this smooth. Okay. You guys a little bit around on this side. You guys don't care about the back side of the truck now. So, got a back and a front clamp on both sides attached. Alright, installing soft top. It says ensure bulkhead is clean, wipe top surface. So what they're talking about, the bulkhead, is this front cross member right here on the bed. It looks like that's what the alcohol pads are for. You're going to attach that self-sealing foam pad down. So clean it with the alcohol pad if needed. Bulkhead depth may vary. Locate narrowest point to align bulkhead seal during application. Peel protective backing as you go. Align bulkhead seal at one corner, across box to opposite corner, and cut to length. Firmly press with a spray and bed liner. Better adhesion is possible by smoothing surface and applying a adhesion promoter. So what I'm thinking is going to happen today, since I'm kind of in a rush to do this, I'm going to go ahead and apply this foam strip on there, and I'm thinking I'm probably going to have to pull it back off when I get back from this trip and apply an application glue on there, because it's got a spray and bed liner and it's really uneven. But I don't have enough time today to drive to town and get all that stuff, since that's one of the joys of living an hour away from town. I'm going to put that on there today, just because I know we are running through some weather and I don't want it to be pouring in water. If it leaks a little bit, it is what it is, but I just don't want it to be dumping water in. So I'm going to go ahead and put this on the way it is, fully expecting next week when I get back I'm going to have to pull that pad off and re-glue it back on there real good so it seals up better. So that's where we're at. Alcohol wipes and foam pad. Mark that dude. Mark it a little bit long if I need to, so I can trim it in place. This old dull knife may not be sharp enough to cut it. Rechecking the instructions. Let's try first. Alright, so I'm going to apply this on. I'm going to stick this on. And then it looks like we're going to get to the front and rear portion of this bad dude. So what I'm going to do is try to make sure I get it lined up where I want. So I stuck it, I peeled the tape off in the middle. I stuck it in line where I wanted it at. And now I'm just going to go ahead and bring that across. And hopefully that's where I want it at. Get rid of the trash. So next thing is next. Flip the page. Installing soft top is next. I'm gonna fall over here. Installing soft top continued. I guess the first part was that foam pad. Slide front bar onto the channel of soft top front panel attached to soft top. Then position front panel between cab and window frame. Oh, okay, so it looks like those other two bars that are saran wrapped is a front channel bar and a rear channel bar. What we're gonna do, I guess, is slide them through a kind of like a window curtain thing here. Which, guess what? Which that means we've got to remove some more saran wrap. All right, so one thing I've noticed right off the bat is the rubber seal on it's kind of like an L bracket, but I don't see a marking on it for front or rear. I do not know. No, they're definitely not the same. Maybe you can tell easily from the picture which is different, which is which. So the garage door type rubber seal on this one, this is not an L bracket, it's just got a lot longer. The seal on this, now let me show you here. This is one, and then this is the other. You can see, the light is right here. You can see that the seal on this one is definitely nicer than the seal on that one. So I guess we'll figure out pretty easily which is which. Get this out of here. I guess this is a side. This looks like another side. So rear maybe. We're just looking for the big dude. This is it. I think we're on money now. I'm gonna lay this over. Cool. So that looks to be our top. So front, rear maybe, I don't know. And it looks like we've got to run these two beams through the channels. Okay. Slide front bar onto channel of soft top front panel. Attached to front panel. Attached to soft. Then position front. Oh, so this, according to the picture, it looks like this front is actually a window as well. And then we're going to zip in the rear window. Unfold soft top over frame. Okay, so let's try this. I'm going to set this up over the frame, slide it down through the window between the cab and the frame, and then once it's down I'm going to slide this through. That might be easier than trying it down here in the ground. And then maybe I can figure out while I'm up there which one of these attaches to which section. Ah! Phone down, phone down. Got a phone in the dirt. Alright. I'm going to try to just work it through here and see how that goes. We'll say one thing, I was kind of worried about this fabric, but it is pretty thick looking. So if you look here really hard, they've got an end shot, a little insert in this picture of what the end of this bar, and you remember if I showed you the picture, they're different sizes. So if you compare it, they're two different makes. This one's got a square, kind of a mostly a circle with a little bar off the end of it. You can see that right there. So there's a picture here that shows you the end of what each one looks like, a front and a rear bar. So this little hole right here, if you can see, it's not a complete circle. There's a channel cut out of it. So I look like there's a little piece of hard rubber, or plastic rod that's inserted in there. So it looks like you can just set this in there and then run this. You can't put it in the frame yet on the bed rails. You got to run this from one end to the other through the canvas top, and then once it's in, then you can slide it down and slide it into the locks on both sides of this, and then that way you can tighten it down. So I don't know, it may be easier to do this with it on the ground, but we're going to try the way it is right here to work this through the way it is. I think the hardest part is just going to be getting it started. There we go. Well, that's easy enough. So that is through. Now I'm just going to center it up on both sides to where the flap comes over the edge. Maybe just a touch more. Alright, so now what we're going to do is drop this down, pull it down, and insert it into this channel, which may be easier said than done. That's tight. That's really tight. Which I guess, in order for it to not be going down the road. So what I did is when I put the other side in, it kinked this side up. So now I'm really having to pull this down extremely tight to get it in there. And there's just not a whole lot of oh, buddy, that is tight. Kind of hard to get to. So what I had to do here, you probably heard that clanking. I loosened this up to try so I can move this around a little bit. And what I ended up having to do, because you kind of got to force it into this little groove here. So I had to put my hand behind it, pull this down tight enough to where I could get it, put my hand in behind it, kind of just slide this, jam it into it to knock it back into that rail, or that little slot. Because basically that bar is going into a slot like that you got to get into. So Oh, that was a little not impossible, but that was kind of a job. So what it looks like for me is that foam seal I put across there, it seals the cab of the truck, and then the seal on the bottom of that bar goes down on top of it and makes a seal. But in order to do that, I'm gonna have to pick this bed up and slide it back just a touch to get that seal on here. Soft top, unfold cover, press front bar into side rail openings. Alright, so once you get all this done, it doesn't really show a clear picture of how those seals interact with each other. Yeah, you can't really tell. There's not really a good picture here. All it says is just make sure it's fully engaged into the rail. It's just all the way in. So I had that, the way I'm thinking is that the foam was on the bottom of that bulkhead and that gasket sits right in the middle of it or the top of it. So I'd ran that foam up onto this, which is that 1/4 inch higher than the bulkhead of the bed. So what I did is I come back, I cut that off. I can't reach it now. So this was sitting on this plastic, or this bed liner top, and that gasket sits down tight on this, but sits on the top of this foam right here. So what I did is I went and trimmed that part of the gasket off, that foam off this. So now that gasket can sit tight on here. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm sliding this back basically to ensure that thing is on there all the way around. So now what I'm going to do is jump up top. I'm going to put that, there's a Velcro loop all the way across. I'm going to put that around there, and I'm basically just going to slide this and work it back. That's what it appears. So that took a long time. All right, we're gonna, starting at one end, wrap fabric flaps around and secure them with the hook and loop, the Velcro, and then just gonna repeat this step all the way back. And then let's get that, knock that out real fast. That took quite a bit longer than what I thought it was gonna take. That one's done. Move to the next one. I have a feeling this is going to be a lot harder the farther I get back. Oh my gosh. So here's the easy way. Can't believe I'm just figuring it out. Just loosen it up a little bit. Just fold it up. Get it good and tight where it's supposed to be. I cannot believe I just fought through those others on there. So all I did here is, I just realized by accident, is you can fold this up, create slack here, and then Velcro it where you're supposed to Velcro it. So it's not a miserable mess. Wow. That just doesn't even seem right. Okay. Got that done. Let's see, what's next? Unfold, soft top, blah blah blah, we did that. Got that. Installing. Alright, so we've got the other 3 bows done. So I guess now we're going to install step number 5, installing soft top panels, which is the slide rear bar into a frame channel. Okay, so we're gonna slide the rear bar into the rear channel. It looks like they have that on there though. Use zipper to attach rear panel. Okay, so we're gonna slide the bar under that same little channel I did the last one, and then I'm going to, once that bar is on the panel, then I'm gonna zipper it on. And here's the panel. So you guys can see on this, there's this little flap of canvas, and then it has this piece in there that actually expands this canvas enough to where it doesn't slide through that channel. So basically what we're doing is we're gonna, this little open area, it slides into that, and then that piece of plastic, hard plastic, keeps it from sliding out of this. Alright, and then it says to ensure seal is facing away from panel window. Oh, down, I guess. So the seal can either face upwards towards the window or down away from the window. So it says to slide it in facing away from the window, as we are going to do here. Okay, that's on there. Use zipper to attach rear panel, completely close top and side, secure zipper with hook. Oh, buddy. Alright, let's see if we can figure this out. it's easier to do this inside or outside. And I can tell you one thing. This is a bear. So definitely the zippers aren't hard, but they're not easy exactly to get started. But I think on the inside ones, or the side vertical ones, it's definitely easier to start on the inside than to start on the outside. Gonna zipper these all the way down. And then there's Velcro here to, I guess, to keep them things from opening up on you. Okay, that's done. So it says press rear bar into slide rail openings. Ensure rails are positioned with minimal side clearance from rear bar. Ensure topper doesn't contact cab. Make adjustments if needed. Torque all clamps to 10 pounds. Well, I don't have a torque, so we're just gonna get those tight. So this bar right here is gonna come down and slide into this. This rear bar is gonna slide into this slot right here. On that side, and on that side. So now I think I've got to slide these sides in to where there's no gap there, which probably means loosening this up a little bit. I got to loosen that clamp up on the side here. Okay, so what I did is I slid this in, but I've got a little bit of a gap here. So I'm gonna have to go back inside, loosen up these clamps on the back, and then basically just smash these in tight. And then once I got them smashed in tight to where there's no gap here, no gap there, then I'm gonna kind of recenter up this on the bed rail itself. So let's see if I can, oh, there we go. Now it's so tight now, it's actually pulling this frame up off the back. Now I see why they said move it as far back as you can, so it actually tightens this down. So I'm gonna recenter this up a little bit. So I've got, before I put the sides on, I'm gonna go back and tighten up all the bolts that I installed on here. I'm gonna tighten that up, tighten all these up while I have easy access. And then we'll, all right, so this is pretty self-explanatory.
Make sure you don't step on the other ones.
Read. There's words right here, shows you the right side up. And we might end up doing this one from the inside like the other one, I don't know.
Look, bud. Hey, look, you covered wide.
That was not easy. this. I don't think I'm gonna be able to get this by myself. I'm gonna have to have somebody else pull this together before I can crank it down. All right, so after a lot of hard work, the only way I could get this back one tightened, zipped even, was to pull this bar out of the back and flop this back up, loosen that to get that tight. That's the only way I could get it done. So I'm gonna do that on the other side real fast, and then I guess we'll have to figure out how to pull this back and slide it into that slot. But I mean, there was no way I could even get close to pulling that tight enough over there. It's out of the way here. All right, so let's get this dude started. So you can see here now, this is a little bit loose here. So you can see here now, I pulled that slot out of the back to make this loose so I can zip this up. So we shall see if that creates another problem for us. Hopefully not. I'm gonna stick this under right here just to kind of pin it. That way it holds it up and not flopping down here on the truck. So what I figured on the other side, don't zip this very far. I'm just gonna get the top end and get it started, and then work this in over here. Slide it up to get it started, which is easier said than done because it's so dadgum tight in there. Whew, buddy. There's not a lot of room in there in that fabric. So then again, I kind of just barely pulled this up just a touch, holding on to this zipper top, so it kind of keeps it where it's supposed to start. I'm not going to get it now, and just lift this up just a touch where it slides it in there and gets it started. And then now I can go ahead and fold that, fold this. Now we're 3 inches high up here. I didn't even know that till this now, but I don't even know how it's going to work. So there is a plastic channel underneath here that I guess it fits into this. Wow, I don't know how that's going to even begin to get in here. Y'all, that's miserably tight. I tell you what, I thought I was making some good, decent time. So I couldn't even get this bottom clamp started. It's so tight. Hang on, buddy. What I had to do is unzip this all the way back up to the top, and then work that down and the zipper together. That's miserable. So we were making good time before that, but now we're at 2 hours. I was everything done within an hour probably until we started fitting this down, and I knew this was going to be the hard part, but I've got to adjust this back portion, this bar, to where we can get this back to flop over here. But so by the time we get that snapped over, we're going to be at 2.5 hours. But we got to adjust this internal back bar right here in order for that to fit right. So yeah, we're gonna be sitting right at 2.5 hours to get it done. Like I said, the first portion was pretty self-explanatory and really easy, but man, you start popping this stuff on, it's super tight. So that's it. I do know that this stuff is not going to be sealed nearly as tight just on the bottom unless I get, because it's just the clamp stops here the way the bed's made, and there's nothing, it's just floating here, so that pressure of this is pulling this up off a little bit. So yeah, not nearly going to be nearly as tight, I don't think, as a made to fit fiberglass shell, but this will get us through the next 5 or 6 road trips for the tournaments, and then go ahead and get one on order for next fall. But yeah, I can't wait to put it on the road tonight and see how it sounds going on the road, and then see how wet my stuff gets. Anyway, thanks for everybody stopping by for a little while.